Out my side now, David. You can start your fly. Okay, Jack, understood. Yeah, we're just working out our flight here. Thank you, Jack. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us on NBC LA. This is Gil Levis in News Chopper 4 Bravo, along with my pilot, David Viskovich. We are over a very high-speed chase that's coming out of South Orange County. It started down off of the 5 freeway, northbound 5 at Camino Capistrano, is continuing to travel northbound at a high rate of speed, 120 miles an hour at one point. The vehicle here in the fast lane has been driving mostly in the carpool lane, has made a quick move here from South Orange County up into Tustin or Irvine right now. We are approaching the 55 freeway. We're trying to find out the want on the vehicle right now, but this white vehicle is being chased by the California Highway Patrol. This pursuit started about 10 minutes ago and is continuing to go northbound on the 5. Looks like if the driver stays in this lane, he's going to continue northbound on the 5 from the 55 freeway. And that's going to be the interchange he's approaching next. Just crossing Newport Avenue, and the 55 freeway interchange is next. He's going to look like he's going to stay on that northbound 5, which will put him into Santa Ana. And if he continues northbound on the 5, we'll continue through Anaheim past Disneyland. So we'll see what happens as this driver continues to go at a high rate of speed. Right now, speeds have slowed down quite a bit, but still high speeds, about 85, 90 miles an hour as we transition from the 55 freeway. He's going to go under this bridge here, and they'll pop out in a short minute here. News Chopper 4 Bravo, we're the only news helicopter on this pursuit right now as it continues northbound from the 55 freeway. There's about 3 or 4 units of the California Highway Patrol in pursuit. We're going to come out to a wide shot now. The reason why we have such a what looks like a faraway shot is because we're anticipating going through the Disney temporary flight restriction, which keeps us high in altitude, over 3,000 feet. So that's the reason why the picture might, or the car might look a little small. But again, northbound 5 freeway coming into Santa Ana now. Speeds slowed down quite a bit here. It looks like about 70 miles an hour. The California Highway Patrol talked about a spike strip at some point. We haven't heard any kind of plan on that, but they are considering that. The car traveling right now right down the center of the freeway. Traffic is light. And you see as I come out to a wide shot, we have 3, 4 units in pursuit, 3 with their lights on, and then the night sunlight from the police helicopter that is keeping the track of the pursuit. Say again? Thank you. Getting information from the CHP helicopter overhead, telling my pilot David that the original want was for speed. They tried to make a stop on the driver for speeding, and he took off on the officer. So again, traveling northbound on the 5 freeway here, coming through Santa Ana, approaching the 22 freeway, and the driver will have some options here to take that 5 north, or transition 22 west, or northbound 57. So we'll see what happens when the driver gets to that point. But about a mile from that interchange, that's Main Street that the driver just passed. Speed holding steady now, about 90, 92, fluctuating in there. That's the 22 freeway. He's moving over to the right, so he's committed to the, well, let's see here. He's going on to a transition road here. That might be the transition road to the northbound. Well, that might be the 57 that, it is the 57 freeway that he's going to be transitioning onto. So now a change from freeways here, northbound 57 from the 5. This will take the driver past Angel Stadium and towards the 91 will be the next interchange. Northbound 57 freeway from Chapman. Northbound 57 crossing Catella. Not much has changed. The speed slowed down a little bit, and as I come out again wide, you see the traffic is maybe a little bit heavier here on the 57, but not much. The driver has a lot of options as far as lanes go. We really haven't seen any close calls except for that high rate of speed. We were able to watch the car coming northbound on the 5 freeway from South Orange County as we were up high in elevation. We watched that vehicle make a quick move from that South Orange County area up to the 405 El Toro Y interchange. At that time, CHP was reporting 100 plus miles an hour, and now you see about 87 miles an hour, still at a high rate of speed, but slowed down quite significantly. Northbound 57, crossing Ball Road now. Coming out once again to a wider shot, so you see the CHP giving the car some space there. You see the amount of distance between the pursuit vehicle and the lead CHP car. If the driver continues on the 57 north, he'll eventually end up in Brea and headed towards the 60 freeway, but at this point still south of the 91 freeway. We'll have the option to go east or west on the 91 freeway. Now the CHP thinks because the driver moved over here, might try to take the 91 freeway. Let's see, it looks like it's gonna do that. You can go east or west here on the 91. We'll see. It is the westbound 91 transition. Taking that's fairly slow. And because there's a truck there. Okay, so he's slowed down because of a big rig in front. Westbound 91 has a little bit more traffic on it than the 57, so the driver will have some challenges there. The big rig pulling over, getting out of the way, and the driver passing that big rig and then back on the gas. So westbound 91 from the 57 headed back towards, eventually towards the 5 freeway. Westbound 91 approaching State College. Again, the want on this was for speed. Westbound 91 freeway, continuing towards Harbor Boulevard right now. Once again, there's a conversation about possibly using a spike strip on this vehicle that's now westbound 91 at Harbor Boulevard. 5 freeways up ahead in about 2 miles, 2.5 miles. And they may try to set up a spike strip up ahead somewhere at some point. Okay, so we're hearing now that the CHP did get a spike strip on this vehicle just a short time ago. It may have been under one of the bridges that we did not see that happen, but we're hearing that from the lead car that one of the tires is punctured and going flat at this time, and that may account for the slightly slower speeds. And if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us on NBCLA. This is Gil Levis in News Chopper 4 Bravo, along with my pilot, David Viskovich. We've been over a very high-speed chase that came out of South Orange County. We first learned about it northbound 5 freeway at Camino Capistrano. It made its way quickly up to the El Toro Y and continued northbound on the 5, all the way up to the Orange Crush interchange where the vehicle took the 57 northbound. And now we're westbound 91 from the 57 coming up to the 5 freeway. There might be an exit here. Let's see what happens. The car might be exiting or taking the northbound 5. We'll see what happens. And now back onto the main portion of the freeway. So it looks like the driver is going to be committed to the westbound 91 from the 5. There was some traffic there on that transition road, so that may have been the difference. And David, let's try to descend now. We're going to try to descend and get a better picture now that we're clear of the Disneyland temporary flight restriction. But there's the car. White SUV, westbound 91 from the 5 freeway in Buena Park now as the CHP continues to be in pursuit. At least one of the tires on this car has been punctured by a spike strip. I did hear the CHP talking about that, and it sounds like that's confirmed. So we'll see what happens with that tire. Here comes another CHP joining in on the pursuit. Westbound 91 at Beach Boulevard. Car making its way over to the right. We might see an exit here. It's unclear how many people are in the vehicle. We haven't heard any talk as far as if there's just the driver or other passengers inside the vehicle. Passing another CHP there on the shoulder, and the car making its way possibly back onto the main portion of the highway, and it certainly does not exit. Westbound 91 from Knott Avenue. Coming back out. The car now staying in the slower lanes, and it's unclear if it's because of that spike strip that took out one or more tires. And here's the exit. It looks like for sure the car is exiting now. This will be Orangethorpe exit off the 91 freeway. Car coming maybe to a stop here on the off-ramp. We'll see what happens. Northbound on Valley View, north. And here's a pit maneuver. They're going to try a pit right. Well, they thought about it. That lead vehicle said no, it's too risky because of those cars that are there. Luckily, he has an open lane here, a red light, and he might make a U-turn. It is a U-turn. Back the other way towards the 91 freeway. And here's the pit. Here it comes. No, the car is going to turn in and avoid it. It's a It's going to take off and run. The car just rolling away, goes into the structure here. Which way the driver goes. NOC from Bravo. Our picture's breaking up according to the desk. Shoot. Hey, Mark. 161. Well, the driver jumping out, running the car, rolling away. The CHP getting the car under control, and now the driver inside. It looks like it's a Motel 6. And you see officers there running into the main entrance to the lobby there of that Motel 6. Hang on. That's him right there. That's it. Maybe. Well, it's a little confusing because there's a lot of people out of their rooms right now and a lot of movement, so it's so the driver's still running around on possibly on the third level of the Motel 6. Let's can we orbit? Can we do an orbit and see if we get lucky and spot him? Valley View and the 91 freeway is where this pursuit came to an end. The Motel 6, the driver pulling in, jumping out, the car rolling away. And the helicopter overhead had eyes on the driver running on possibly on the third level. White t-shirt and jeans they're describing the driver wearing. We're going to try to make a fast orbit around the building here to see if we can pick up any activity. You see the CHP has set up a perimeter around the motel. Well, now we're hearing, we're listening to the airship overhead that thought he saw the driver running on the third floor, but now we're hearing from the officers on the ground that the driver's barricaded in the lobby. So we'll focus our attention there for now and see if we see that person being taken into custody. There with the officer going in there and putting it in a park. Thank you, Jeff. So we're going to stay focused on this lobby here. That's where we last saw the driver run in those doors. And you see some officers here. We're going to come in a little tight and show you them standing guard on one of the side doors. But they believe the driver is barricaded inside the lobby. Again, this all started in South Orange County with CHP officers trying to pull over a speeding vehicle, that white SUV that you saw in the pursuit. That driver hit the gas, took off on those officers at a high rate of speed, 115 miles an hour at times, on the northbound 5 freeway. The driver making his way up the 5 freeway to the 57 northbound, and then the 57 to the 91 westbound, exiting here at Valley View, making a U-turn and then pulling in here until 6 and then jumping out and running into that lobby area where we're hearing now that the driver's barricaded himself within the lobby itself. Officers have the area surrounded. A lot of people coming out of their rooms that are living here or staying here, and at this point it looks like it's going to be the driver inside that lobby. We didn't see anybody else come out of the vehicle. It looks like the officers cleared that vehicle, so it was just the driver only. We were watching a couple officers come out of that main lobby there, pretty casual. Well, to give you an update, we're just still waiting on word as to the driver here that jumped out and ran from this pursuit into the Motel 6 lobby. It sounds like that driver is barricaded inside the lobby and is not in custody. See an officer there grabbing a shield, and they're going to make an approach on the driver. It's unknown if the driver was armed. We never heard if the driver was armed. Again, the want on this vehicle was for speed. Hey Jack, yeah, I mean they have him detained in a room. I mean he's detained himself in a room, and they're trying to make entry to get him out. So he's not in custody yet, but what? Sounds like they might be bringing the driver out. They have contact with the driver. He is barricaded in what sounds like a small room in the lobby area. So we may be seeing the driver coming out in custody shortly. Officers are in contact with that driver. And it sounds like no one else is in that room with him. Okay, yeah, they might be coming out with him shortly. You see how the officers here have moved over to the side of the lobby. It looks like the driver may have barricaded himself in maybe a living quarter in the lobby. We've seen officers come in and out of the lobby and fairly casually, but they are in communication with the driver. They know his name, and we'll see if they're able to talk him out of coming out of that lobby area and surrender. We're not hearing that there's anybody else in the room that he went into. It sounds like he's in there by himself, but he's locked the doors and is talking with officers at the door.